I'm sorry I don't have one with shamrocks on it. They like it better when that table has a towel or a tablecloth or a blankie. Hi. She's been up and done food inspection, did her sampling, and now I can take it out to the other cats. Come on. Come on. Don't be confused. Just come up. Good boy. Good boy. Yep, you go get your food. Yeah, Stripe was actually in the house for a little bit. Tux had him pinned down over there by the septic tank. I opened the door and he ran into the house to get away from Tux, but then he wanted back out. Anyway, they're all good. It's in the 40s out here and cloudy. We're doing fine. Good morning. Hi. Hello. Good morning. I haven't seen bluebirds coming and going for a few days. I need to pay attention. They may have checked out the box but not chose that box. Panther was all excited to see me bouncing back and forth. And he settled in eating his food now. That's good. I thought before I pulled out the base plate and started on the building I want to do, I would put together the daffodils and, you know, is there a daffodil and a jonquils box? Anyway, I'm going to put together the daffodils and then maybe after our walk, the orchids. We'll see when Dawn's ready to walk or not. But the daffodils, you know, if I sneeze, I'll have this get together. And I'm just going to add them to over here. I had gotten this milk glass vase to put them in. And some of the stems are way shorter than the other stems. And I don't know, that didn't work at all, that vase. I thought it might, and it just didn't. So I was kind of surprised. I wanted a heavy vase that wouldn't fall over if we accidentally bumped the desk. Keep the guys out of trouble. Because I had to put them back together a couple times. And actually I took down the Owl Valentine's Day bean bag that was sort of making sure the vases don't fall. So I probably need to put something else over there to keep them from falling. Till I get the right vase. I have not seen this part before. I don't know what this part is. I'm sure it has to do with the flower. Pretty cool. Well, there they are. They're just as cute as can be. I'm thinking the petal is also a new part just for this set. Couldn't swear. I mean, I could look it up. Couldn't swear it, but I'm thinking that's probably true. And I did use a rubber band to sort of position the flowers. And obviously I think it might look better if there were like 4 more. But it looks really cute. It's really cute. It's kind of hard on my fingers. My fingers are a little sore today, and I jammed my thumb and broke off my thumbnail again. It wasn't a Lego injury. And anyway, but I had fun, and it's super cute. Starting bag 1 of the orchids, and it looks like bags 1 and 2 are the base, the pot, and then 3 and 4 are the flowers. And they do show a couple of different ways you could organize the orchids, depending if you want it really super tall and spiky or shorter and bushier. I'm done with bag 1. Wow, that was seemingly somewhat unnecessarily complicated, but since this is for adults, I think they did an awesome job of making it really neat. There was a couple of things you had to line up just right or it didn't work. And anyway, bag 2 will be putting on the outside of the pot. But Don and I are going to go for a walk, and I'll do that later. hear kids down there having fun. There are 20 cars here in the parking lot. We don't know why.
Yeah, well, it's a holiday.
Right, maybe homeschool group meeting. Most of them are minivans.
Right.
I told Don when we come back, we're going to just inspect this box and make sure it was cleaned out for the season and has a good nesting cup in it, since we have spares that Amy gave us. There's also one at the other side. You can just barely see it here. Maybe see the white pole. It's a little crooked, but probably okay. I don't know why they faced that one pointed to the woods. Bluebirds like open, like an open spot coming into the box. It can be woodsy behind the box. I don't know. I question that one being pointed in that direction, but see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I exaggerated a little bit, but there was at least 10 minivans. Large SUVs. The landscape crew has been here and cut the pampas grass down and blew the sidewalk and done their thing. I bet the landscaping crew had picked up the lemon bottle, and Dawn bet no. I continue to have faith in humanity even when they let me down.
I had perfect faith in my humanity. I knew exactly what was going to happen.
And no, I don't think kids being kids is okay. Those bags are expensive. Yeah, you'd have to have the key to unlock it to fix it. If you had the key, you could lift it up and re-roll it, but I don't think you can fix it. Don's getting them all back in there as best as he could. That's our tax dollars right there sitting on the ground getting ready to get wet in the rain, right? Yeah. It's not good. Nope. Don fit as many of those bags as he could into the thing back there and has taken it up to the dispenser up here to try to fit the rest of them in. All the ones that weren't damaged, dirty, unusable. We've picked up a lot of trash on the trail today. We rarely ever have any trash over here. It's all at the park, you know. Normally the people that put down the trash, they're not willing to walk the walk. They just want it easy peasy, you know, right up there at the park. We're not very happy today. It's taking away from our walk, isn't it, Donnie? Yeah, maybe kids shouldn't be allowed to have days off from school if this is what happens when they get a long weekend. As we were here Saturday? No, Saturday we walked the Greenway, so we haven't walked since Friday and it's Monday. We missed yesterday. Right. Saturday was the Greenway. We walked Friday. So, anyway, it's so discouraging. Yeah, I was reading on Facebook last night. Don't ask me why I do that, but there was a gentleman that posted that he was very upset with the Fuquay Marina Police Department because they had pulled him over. I wasn't sure if he got flashed because they ran his plates or if he was at a checkpoint. Apparently they've been doing a few checkpoints in town, which I fully support based on the number of alcoholic bottles we find thrown out on the side of the road. I think they need to do checks. Wish they'd put one on Wagstaff right there by the environmental park. I think that'd be a great place to put one. And anyway, his particular complaint was that they didn't have anything better to do but give him a ticket for his expired tag. And there were a couple of people, I never say anything back, usually I just read. There were a couple of people that said, take some personal accountability. You didn't pay your tag on time, now you get to pay the ticket and the tag. That's just the penalty there is. But the number of people that are like, all the police are is to a revenue source for the town. They don't care about serving and protecting you. Or how dare I get taxed for my car? I already pay this, that, and the other. I shouldn't have to pay for the privilege of driving my car down the road. That's wrong. And it just was like, really? There's people out there that think like that. I mean, it was so discouraging also. I just don't understand. And these are people that live in my town. This is not someplace else. This is here in Fuquay. I certainly think the Fuquay police serves and protects just fine, the best that they can. And we've recommended to the town guys that they add another trash can and dog poop station halfway down the trail where it goes up into the neighborhood, that would really help out. I mean, they drive the truck down the trail to clean out this one and the other one anyway. They're going right past there. There's no reason why having to stop to do one more would be a big deal. But I was telling Don, I think the reason why someone, and I'm just assuming it was kids, felt they could just pull all those bags out down there and leave it like that was, you know, when the trash can looks the way it does because it hasn't been emptied in over a week and it's full, then it portrays the image of this is not a spot we keep clean. So it's kind of the thing where you go into a bathroom and it's all clean and people are more inspired to keep it clean, and you go in and it's all dirty and people are not inspired to keep it or to make it better, or they don't care, you know, they just don't care anymore. And obviously somebody had to start with leaving it not clean in the first place, but you get my gist. It's just easier to go along with the let's keep it clean when everything looks clean. I guess there's just no pride in community anymore. At least that's how it feels to me. I'll quit griping now. The guys are working on the church even though it's a holiday. And they are doing stuff up there. He's dumping a big old pile of dirt. I guess they're having to do a lot of fill up there versus taking stuff out. They're having to bring it in, because he is dumping a huge dump truck full of dirt onto an already huge mound. So Don found this bottle and it's 77 grams of carbs, 290 calories. That's basically nothing in there but sugar and some GMO flavor.
Yeah, but they, at least to their credit, the company's credit, they said this is one serving. They didn't try to deceive you and make you do math, say there's 5 servings in here and they're 50 calories, you know, or what, they're 60 calories a piece. They didn't do that. They just said it's one serving, 290 calories.
Yeah, well the sad thing is that absolutely spikes somebody's blood sugar over 150. Eating things that will spike it over 150 is what starts disease. I don't care if you're 10 or 20 or 30. That is not good for you. And it's not just it's an occasional treat thing. So what's happened is the ball players have been back on the field, and there is just a lot of trash, leading me to please beg the referees, the coaches, the parents, and the students to police the field before and after each game. This is not right to leave your town like that. If you can play ball, if you have the energy to run around the field and play ball, you have the energy to police the field before you leave it and get rid of all your trash. And oh, by the way, don't send Gatorade and these horrible processed food snacks for these kids. They don't need it.
Nope.
They have not run around playing baseball enough to need those things.
Nope.
I don't like missing days over here. It's just easier to keep it picked up if we walk over here every day.
Yeah, let's see, an apple a day. Well, this is picking up trash every day.
Yep.
Keeps you from wearing yourself out.
We've at least both been over 30 times today, and that's with the weight vest on. And we got one more lap, Nani.
That's right.
Although at least at this point, all the trash around the track is picked up, so we shouldn't have to bend over anymore.
That's the hope.
So the Johnny bootlegger bottle today was apple. We speculate they ran out of peach.
Yeah, they bought all the peach, so he's having to take his second choice, apple.
So we scrutinized it today. It's a malt beverage, which means they can sell it at grocery stores and stuff, we think. It's not a liquor. It's when it's a malt beverage, it's a beer. And at 12% alcohol for that size bottle, we figure there's no way the person that consumed that and threw it down on the ground was not too intoxicated to drive, even if they were, you know, Don's size and had a big meal.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking if it was straight alcohol, they'd we'll have to bring a screwdriver. It's got a drywall screw.
Okay. Well, that's the right answer, because I just wanted to make sure it was ready for the year.
Yeah, I think we need to open it up.
Double check it. We read that well, I always knew that we were supposed to remove the nests in between broods, and there's up to 3 broods a year. But the reason why is they'll rebuild a new fresh straw, pine straw on top, but that puts the babies closer to predators peeking inside the box. So if they're in the nest cup down low where the parents made the original nest, it's safer for the babies. Predators being snakes, but also squirrels and raccoons that would maybe stick their paw in the hole. Come on, 11.3. Are you gonna make some noise?
I'll try. That feels awful solid.
Yeah, well, if you know, we knew the ground was pretty wet today, so if you're hitting a rock in the first hit or two, that's not good. We're on the backside of ball field 3 and out of the grass, so the guys mowing don't, you know, it ain't in their way. Don went back to the car and got a shorter piece of pipe, and he's through the gravel from when they, you know, graded over here. Now it should go in easier. We're hoping. Pretty nifty trick with the hook on the piece of wood.
Yeah.
So it doesn't dent the top of the pipe. All the denting happens on the wood piece. We'll let him get it in there. It's hard work. Is it hard work, Donnie?
Everything that Kit gets involved with is hard work.
Aww. It didn't require a lot of coaxing to get Don to do the birdhouses, though, I have to say. Don's fitting to see.
Right here.
Should be
Complete this right
into the white pipe.
into the white pipe.
Okay. Amy said it's important to use 4-inch plumbing pipe. The snakes at 2 inches can wrap around it. At 4 inches, they can't. And that's why it's effective against the snakes. So Don made a cover for the top of the plumbing pipe. Amy said it's rare, but fledglings could potentially fall down the pipe. So blocking that hole is the right thing to do. Don's already gone out and covered the hole on a couple of ours. And you can't see it. Well, you can see the foam and the foam. It's all nice and neat. That's how Don does things. That's so it won't wobble. Looks good. Yep. Yep. Well, I would say for any young women watching, or women on more than the first time, it is important to pick a guy that will go along on life's adventures with you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine my life if Don wasn't willing to do guy stuff for me? It would be sorry. It would not be as good. These girls today, young men, they need to teach themselves how to do stuff.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with young women learning how to do stuff too,
yeah,
but
absolutely.
your spouse, your partner in life should be willing to go all along with you on life's adventures, or you're in trouble.
Amen.
These boxes come with the strap. And Don grabbed a pipe clamp. I guess that one of those plastic tie or two around there probably would work fine also, but Don had a pipe clamp, so.
Yeah, well, this old stainless steel pipe hose clamp.
It'll be here long after us.
Trust me, it'll
the
be
box will go away around it, but it'll still be there.
It'll be here a real long time.
Yeah, we've had good luck with our boxes lasting 10 years easy, so just a little bit of maintenance during the season, and that's all it takes.
I think that one's good. I'm going to fix this now.
So how you going to fix it? Just creativeness? Well, you already been pretty creative. Yay! Yeah. It's looking really good. Besides not being in the way of the lawnmowers, it's also not jumpable. Nothing's going to jump it. We're not close enough to any trees. So that's kind of important too. Gray squirrels wouldn't fool with it except for chewing the hole out, but we do have nocturnal flying squirrels here.
I agree.
And yep. They're not that fast.
Oh, they're not?
No.
Oh.
I think they're really going to like this spot, though. They like to be on the fringe of the woods with the wide open.
This is good ball games. You got a good view.
Yeah, got a good view of the ball games, for sure. We're back at the environmental park so we can check out these boxes. Looks like they're...
Oh, it's got a cup.
Oh, it's got a bee nest in there and everything.
Yeah, well.
Are there any eggs?
Oh my God, there's eggs in it.
Those don't look like good eggs.
Well, no, well they're not. But what I meant, it's been successful.
Yes, that those are not
That's
viable
like
eggs.
At least 2.
Yeah, we're supposed to take it farther away. I guess that's because of raccoons. See, they should be bright, shiny blue, not this old dungy color. You'd know it if they were brand new eggs. Those eggs never hatched. We did not replace the nesting cup because it was in great shape. It didn't need it. There was a mud wasp thing up in the corner, and we used a screwdriver and hands and some blowing, and it's all cleaned out now.
Well, they said they don't like bigger than about 1.5 inches holes.
Well, it's more to keep out other... There's a fine line between big enough for them and the right size for other birds to get in. Today's video is going to be titled Make a Difference.
Aw, that sounds great.
Even little things can add up. Make sure to tap before you open her up, though, just in case. I think it's full of last year's. I'm surprised no bird has nothing's messed with that hole. It's not protected with a piece of metal, and it's a funky shape. Well, that's not nice. If someone had opened that up and it had eggs in it, they would have dumped them out on the ground. I don't like that box at all, but it is what it is. Don had to trim the nest cup a little bit. This one didn't have a nest cup. I guess we can understand why now, but it's wedged in there pretty good, so even if somebody opens the box, it's not going to spill out like it did for us. It's wedged in there pretty good now.
Well, now that we come every year, when we come clean this out,
yeah,
it ain't likely to stick. That was like a couple nests really.
Yeah, yeah, you should, if you're not going to maintain them, it would be helpful to ask, to get a family member or a friend to pick up your bluebird trail.
Yeah.
Because they don't require a lot of maintenance, but, one day out of the year you go and open them up at least 2 or 3 times a year would be better in between the different broods, as they can have up to 3 nests, and it really ought to be opened up and cleaned out in between. That does sort of require that what day they laid the eggs and stuff, but I guess that's a nesting materials box.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's an awfully nice pole to house whatever that is. The birds really don't have problems finding nesting materials.
Right, well I guess the thing is, are those holes in that pine, or those
Was that
those were drilled, those weren't the bees, the carpenter
Yeah, I
bees.
wonder what it's for. I really don't quite get it.
I don't know.
There are other bird houses in the park, and some of them are nice new bird houses too. Maybe another day. This activity really ought to happen in January, as they start laying eggs in February. If you feel like you need to check on the house, you should tap on the side of the box and give Mama or Daddy Bluebird time to leave. If there's a nest cup in there, as long as it's eggs, obviously you don't want to jostle it around in any way. Or really young babies, you won't do any harm opening up the door, even lifting the cup. But you can cause them to fledge too early if you check on them. If they're making noise and you're seeing little heads near the hole, whatever you do, don't open. Sorry for all the noise. Anyway, eggs and tiny babies, opening the box generally doesn't cause a problem. Don't do it before bad weather or a really cold morning. Don't ever open it if you're hearing babies when Mama approaches or seeing them in the hole, because they can fledge early and that's a problem. Very pretty sand blue colored bricks. I'm going to do bag 2 and finish out the pod. It just gets all these pretty fluted edges. All right, bag 2 is done. That went really fast. A lot of the same stuff. It's, you know, Eiffel Tower-esque. You know, make 32 of these, 2 here, 30 here, and stick them on. So this is basically bag 2's instructions. These 2 pages right here. And then the next page is bag 3. Authentic right down to the posts that help to prop it up. The sticks you would normally see, although my sticks have normally been brown versus black. But on bag 4, it's the last bag, the flowers. I've got cheese stuffed chicken breast in the oven and hopefully just enough time. No pressure. It looks like the clock says I have 28 minutes, excuse me, and 11 seconds. There's dinner, but the guys are gonna have to wait for me to attach the flowers, which I finished building right as the timer went off. There it is. I really like this set. It hurt my fingers a lot, but I still liked it a lot. Just lots of cool pieces, and the building techniques were exciting, and it turned out great, and I really like it. So these pink parts here, I'm just going to take a guess, have never been produced in pink before. These are Technique teeth, often used in my robots, but in pink, that's cool. This is also a gear, I forget what kind of gear, that I have a lot of it in black. I'm going to take a guess that's the first time that's been produced in pink. There's these new orchid pieces. That is just super cool. It's frogs in the middle of the orchids. They've been used on, they were used on the bonsai in this color also, one of the alternate bonsai builds. And then the mulch is thrown in loose. Normally I don't like loose Legos, but it works here. And then on the backs of the flowers, if you look really close, make sure this is in focus now. You can see that they used forks, minifigure fork utensil pieces to help hold the attachment, you know, the petals on. That was a really, that was a pretty darn cool use of a minifigure utensil fork. So I guess the only feedback I might have is that, oops, I'm out of focus here. The only feedback I might have is maybe I wanted my sticks to be brown, or tan. That's just what I'm used to, but you know, it works. Great set. 600 and something pieces was a nice afternoon, you know, fun build, and wow, just really cool.